Hello everyone and welcome back on Lady Books. I hope you are doing well and thank you for joining me for a new reading review, or perhaps it is better to say this time reading reviews, because we are going to be talking about two books and not just one in this video. And these two books are, first of all, Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish by Carol Pilkington and Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns by Mindy Kaling. Without further continuing in this introduction, I'm gonna leave you with the opening title and join you just after that. So I chose to talk to you about these two books both in one video because I think that they both fall in kind of the same genre. I think that they do fall into the same genre, and they both reminded me of each other in a good way, because I actually read the second, like Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns, because I was looking for a book that would remind me of the first, Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish. I was looking for something similar and I found that, and I thought that I'm gonna be reviewing both of them here. So in case you're looking for something that is funny, like that is really funny, that falls into the house of nonfiction, this is nonfiction, that kind of is reminding you, it's like a memoir. This is a memoir, it's not like a memoir. These are two memoirs and that are genuinely funny. So this is your video, these are your books. Why did I purposely research these two books? Because yes, I researched them. I didn't just like stumble into them or found them in a library or found that someone was talking about them. I was actually actively researching funny books, because I realized that I don't really read any funny literature. Everything I read is sad, dramatic, and I like that. I like dramatic, I like sad. It's good. Or if I read something that is funny, it is not something that is purposely being fun. It's like when there is fun in the story. For example, it's a romance and there is something funny, humorous in it, or it's a fantasy and there is some humor in it, but like not something that is actively just fun. So I guess 2.5 years ago, I was like, I need something fun. I think that I was just out of my exam season and I was like, I need some fun little quick read. And in a blog I found them talking about Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna give this one a try. And it is perhaps also my very first book in English. I think that it was the very first book I read like fully in English. I had read articles before in English, I had read subtitles before in English, but never like a book. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and if my memory is right, I think that this was the very first book I've read in English, and it was really great, a really great experience. I really appreciated it, and it was exactly what I was looking for, because you need to know that I'm not the type of person who would laugh at anything like in books or in movies. Like if it's not funny, it's not gonna make me laugh, and I hate it when they make it in a way that you see that they are forcing the fun, like they are forcing the joke out of it. Like it's not that funny and everyone is laughing it out when it's not that funny. Like I'm a really hard person to please in terms of humor when it comes to books and movies. So if it's not funny, I'm not gonna laugh, and I hate it when they try to purposely make me laugh when it's not funny. For example, they try to throw some jokes that are not that funny, that are sometimes even problematic, or if the humor comes into trying to humor me with gestures, and I just don't like that. So really, me finding that this book was genuinely funny is really a guarantee that you're gonna find it funny too. So I think that I found this genre of books and I loved it, and having read after Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish, having read Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns, and liking them both, I think that I have found a new genre of books that I really liked, and which is like kind of memoirs, and that are written in a fun little way, fun little quick fast-paced way, humorous way. So I guess that Carl Pilkington is a stand-up comedian, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't really googled him since 2 years ago, and to be honest with you, I have no freaking memory of what happened in this book, but I remember what I thought about it, because I remember that I wrote a review about it. The review was in French and it was in my previous Instagram page that is now private, and so I clearly remember what I thought about it. And I'm really glad that I forgot like the details of what was told in the book, because I'd have to reread it again and to laugh it out again. The thing with it is humorous, it is fun, but not in the as I was saying earlier, it is not in the way forcing it to be fun. Like, you know that the writer was writing it to be funny, but you don't feel it forced. Like, you don't feel it forced, you feel like it's natural. And I remember that what has marked me a lot in that book is how pessimistic the author was, and how he had a very pessimistic view of absolutely everything, and how he made it look funny and sarcastic. And that was really good. A lot of situations are situations you could relate to in real life, and you would be like, while reading it, he's not that wrong, actually he's right about that. I haven't thought about that, but actually yes. This is the kind of book it is. It is not like funny in a way you're gonna just sit and laugh out loud. It's funny in the way of how pessimistically he's viewing everything, and how he's making it sarcastic and humorous, and it becomes relatable. So you're finding it funny. This is it. This is the kind of genre of books it is. It is actually a memoir de voyage, which is like memoir of travels, chronicles of his travels, of his own travels, of the author's own travels that he's made to several places, cities, countries in the world, and his experiences in that, the fun things that happened, the not so fun things that happened, and that he's telling in a funny way, sarcastic way, the negative experiences, the positive ones, and everything was like super smooth and super smoothly told and super smoothly narrated. And it was really good. You grew attached to the author's point of view and to the way he's viewing the world. I think that it is not like very attractive to say that you're growing attached to a very pessimistic point of view of the world, but let's not forget that it's a very pessimistic point of view that is very humorous. Like, it's like, laugh it out, even if you're viewing something with a pessimistic point of view, when you could totally be positive about it. Like, just laugh it out, just make it fun, make it funny. And I love the vibe and the general energy that the book was radiating. And I remember I read it pretty quickly, and it is something that you could read like quickly, but that you can also put like next to your bed, and like every night read some pages, and just, it's very quick, very fun, very light. Your head is not hurting with what will happen, what's gonna happen, is there gonna be a plot twist, because it is not the kind of stories that will have a plot twist. As I say, it's non-fiction, it is true real experiences, and you just keep craving for more and more from the same genre and from the same energy, another story with the same energy as this one. And it is with this same hope that just recently, like maybe a week ago, maybe when you'll be viewing this video, it will be 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I finished reading the second book that this video will be about, and it is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me and Other Concerns by Mindy Kaling. And before you say anything, because I know that many of you that will be watching this video know who the author is, who the waitress is, but I didn't know her before because I haven't watched The Office. So yes, the author of this book was one of the characters of The Office, and the US version, not the British original version, and she was also one of the co-authors and co-producers of The Office. So she writes comedy for TV shows, yes, for sitcoms and for workplace comedies. But this is actually, I think, her only workplace comedy, because she wrote so many other things. For example, when I googled her, I found that she was co-author also on Never Have I Ever on Netflix. which is a TV show I haven't watched yet, but I'm really growing, really interested in what she wrote TV shows wise, because I really appreciated her author's talents and really appreciated her book and really liked it. And I was looking for something in the same energy as the first book, as Happy Slapped by a Jellyfish, and I found it, and it was just that, the same energy. It was not like a copy and paste or someone who's trying to do something like another person. I actually don't know even who wrote the book first, but I was looking for something in that same genre, and I found that. The only difference is that, not the only difference obviously, but the difference is that it's not a memoirs of travels, but it's like anecdotes about life in general. I feel like I would have appreciated this book more if I had watched The Office, because there are several references that I didn't understand. I didn't just not watch The Office yet, but I actually know nothing about it except that it's a workplace comedy and that there are people working in an office. I just know the face of the main character. This is the only thing I know about The Office, like not the character's name, not the actors and the actresses' names, so I know nothing about it. So all the subtle references to The Office that were thrown here and there, I didn't get at all. So this book actually made me impatient to watch it, because The Office has been on my list for a long time. I'm just waiting to finish a bunch of long-sized TV shows that I have started and haven't finished yet. But this book has made me eager to watch The Office more, because obviously this writeress is very talented. She has been writing The Office since season 1. This is something I discovered while reading the book. And this book I would have also appreciated more if I had some more pop culture comedy-wise. When I say comedy-wise, it means American comedy from the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s. And I'm talking TV shows-wise and like theater-wise. I don't have that. It's not like one of my area of interest particularly. I obviously like sitcoms. I like fun TV shows. But actually workplace comedies, for example, such as Brooklyn Nine-Nine, are one of my favorite genres of TV shows. But I don't have that big culture when it comes to the US comedy culture, especially from the 80s and the 90s. I think that the only comedy show from the 90s that I had watched is The Nanny, which was great, by the way. I haven't finished it yet. I'm season 6, I think. But yeah, I like the oldie TV show, American TV shows, the comedy TV shows, but I haven't watched much. And there are several references to many of these, not just TV shows, also theater, stand-ups, comedies, etc. And I'm not really very cultured in that. I feel like I would have appreciated that more if I had all the references. So, but it's not like something that will disallow you from enjoying the book or from comprehending the book and understanding what it's about and understanding everything, because there are just some small references here and there, and then some small chapters, especially about comedies. For example, ranking her favorite comedies, which I didn't know. I knew nothing about. I knew none of the comedies she listed. Perhaps I knew some actors, but not the works they were in. This is not even like a down negative point, because it's more like about my relationship to the book. Like if I don't have these references, but even if you do, you will, even if you don't have these references too, it will not disallow you from enjoying your reading, because it's a reading that I really highly recommend, especially if you're looking for something like light and sweet and quick and fast-paced, and that you will not struggle a lot comprehending, and you will not that doesn't need a lot of concentration. It's just like a fun little book that you will be reading, and that is also written in a very beautiful way, which was good. Like, it's not just fun and humorous, it's beautifully written. I found that her style of writing was very beautiful, and I know that she wrote other books, like many other books, and they're all on my list now, because I'm eager to find what she'll be telling us. Because while closing the book, and her last chapter was about goodbyes and how she's not able to say goodbye and how she likes long goodbyes in some situations. I was like, yes, I need to read one of her other books because this is really fun. This is really fun written, well written, and what it's about, it's like, just as I told you earlier, it's a bunch of anecdotes about her life, several stages of her life, like in her early childhood, like really early childhood, and then childhood, teenage years, her university years. She's talking about her best friends, she's talking about romance in her life, she's talking about her work life, her work experiences, her experience at the office, which was, and the surprising thing is, even the chapter about the office, even if I didn't have all the references about it, it was written in a way that it wasn't just concentrated in, if you don't have the office references, you won't understand the thing. No, it was about how she got the job, how she maintained the job, how they were not expecting it to go further than season 1 and it did, how successful it was, and it was just a bunch of other anecdotes about the office and about other shows, about her work life, about her social life, about her friends. I particularly enjoyed one of my favorite chapters that wasn't a very emotional one and written in such a fun way, about her best friends and about the general code or general agreement of best friends. What's the implicit, subtle agreements every best friend should have. That was really beautifully written and really a really emotional one. So this is what I'm telling you, this was very well written. Not only it was humorous, but it was also emotional at so many points and beautiful in so many points. So yes, this is a reading I'm highly recommending. 2 readings actually I'm highly recommending, and 2 authors I would gladly read other things from. And these are 2 books that feel like the author are just sitting there and talking to themselves or with their internal monologues, and they wrote their internal monologues to you. So this is it. This feels really authentic and personal, and you feel the authenticity of it. You feel how these authors are not like faking it or making it look something, making their experiences look something they were not. And the little remarks they throw here and there, the humorous remarks, the sarcastic remarks, just make everything all better. So these are 2 readings I highly recommend. Okay, so I think that we've arrived at the end of the video. This is all I wanted to tell you about these 2 books that both belong again in the house of nonfiction, and that both have in common the fact that they're really fun and funny and humorous and written in a soft, smooth, quick, fast-paced way that makes it really authentical and relatable and funny to read and just really light-hearted to read. These are 2 books I highly recommend, 2 readings I guarantee you will like if you're looking for something quick between 2 really heavy readings, or if you don't have much time and you don't want to struggle with something. So just go for them. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope I made you discover some new books, or perhaps you already knew about them, or perhaps you've even read them. So tell me if it is the case, if you've read these 2 books or one of them. Tell me what you thought about them. What were your thoughts? How did you like them? As for me, I will wish you nothing but the best, and as always, je vous aime. À très bientôt.